The Moth is an organization, not for profit, devoted entirely to the personal story. These are true stories from our lives. We celebrate the experience of storytelling and the connections that it brings between and among people, and we also celebrate story itself. In February and March, we formed a collaboration with the Seattle University Project on Family Homelessness. So it's 9 of those wonderful stories that you're going to hear this evening.
We're going to go over the stories, and I know they're still in draft form, guys, and so that's okay. This is a process. But I'm going to ask you to tell your story in whatever form it's in now.
My name is Sarah Austin Janess, and I'm the producing director of The Moth. This past March, we taught a Moth workshop that was a collaboration with the Seattle University Project on Family Homelessness, and we had 18 participants split out over 2 different sessions. They didn't have to have experienced family homelessness themselves. They could have been somehow moved by someone who had gone through it. But we were there to really pull all the pieces out of that experience and then to put them back together and help the individuals realize that no matter what they've been through, they deserve to be listened to. So we had 2 instructors, myself and Larry Rosen. We got a phone call from Catherine Heinrichsen, the project manager of the Seattle University Project on Family Homelessness, and she said, I know this woman, Fritzina, who wants to apply, but I'm not sure she's on email. Can she give you a phone call and talk you through what her story would be? And so we said, absolutely. So she called, and Larry had like a 2-hour conversation with Fritzina about all the stories Fritzina wanted to tell.
This is where I live with the men of my dreams. Why I want to be part of this workshop is to learn to tell my story in a short, sweet manner so people understand me better and I could get my story out.
There we go. All better now. More better now.
Fritzina's very personable. She's very friendly. The challenge was to get her to focus on one story that had a beginning, middle, and an end, and a story where she wasn't trying to fit her whole life experience into just 5 minutes. And so this was tough, but it was a challenge that she stepped up to and took on.
When I was about 2 years old, my father decided he wanted a better life for me. So he packed me up like a Christmas present under a tree. We got on the train and head from California to Denver.
I loved the list too. When I was 4, I was ironing. When I was 5, I was washing clothes. When I was 6, I was cooking. That to me is accomplishing so much in such a short amount of time. But I think for the next draft, you should decide where to start so that we're really just diving right in.
Fritzina was one of the storytellers that we selected for this final show. She told her story again and again. Turns out she had been workshopping it with Bob, her husband, of many, many years. He had been running it for time and giving her notes. And I told Bob I appreciated that very much. And she was standing tall. And she kept coming in early. She was calling everyone out by their first name. She had developed this great rapport with these other individuals.
The detail just keeps getting richer as you continue to tell it. I don't have any notes.
I noticed it for the first time.
It's the first time.
I'm like, wow, wait a minute here.
We have an investment in the storyteller and we have an investment in the listener because we believe that this person's story is worth hearing. So for us, there's an investment in helping the storyteller to craft the story so that the impact is clear.
Fritzina shared with me that she spent most of her life feeling like she was not heard, she was not of worth, and it breaks my heart hearing this in a workshop because I just want to hug her and say, I'm so sorry you felt like that. and let's sit here until maybe even if for just a second you don't feel like that.
It took a long time for me to tell her that she's worth something. You know, we're all worth something. We all have something to give to someone. Some of us can't figure it out, but if you can have support behind you to help you figure it out, that's really the key, I think, to life.
We believe the well-crafted story is a thing of beauty. When a moth visits, whatever has been hidden or veiled is about to be revealed. And I can't think of a better way to start this evening other than to say, ladies and gentlemen, our storytellers.
A caseworker from Child Welfare Services came into my home and decided I was a low-bottom alcoholic and needed immediate inpatient treatment. He put my son in foster care and told me when I sobered up, I'd get him back.
I get a call from my brother, and from the other end of the line I hear, "She's gone, dude."
It was 1:45, New Year's Eve, 1997. We got a call that our house burned down.
I found a water shutoff notice, an electricity shutoff notice, and a 3-day pay or vacate eviction notice.
Part of these workshops are really to help the individuals realize that they do matter.
He wasn't a superhero or a magician to me anymore. He was just a man who did his best.
And so in this bare patch, in this increasingly empty apartment, that's where I started to find home again.
He came back home to me.
Years later, this guy with tattoos and long hair, I love him more today than I loved him the first day I met him, because we are still together. Thank you.
I just sat there and I watched the two of them, and it was a moment I will never forget. I think we were just all speechless. She walked down off of that stage and she embraced him, and we all just wept.
It's like we can sit here and we can listen to these stories from these people who blow us away by sharing truths, emotional experience that we had no idea about. And so we knew it blew us away. And so we're fascinated to see what's going to happen when they tell these stories in public. What's going to be the impact on people?